Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kaylee, and I'm currently a freshman at the University of Arkansas, and I went through Greek this past fall, and as the end of my freshman year kind of comes to an end, and I'm starting to learn about recruitment on uh, the active member side. I just thought it would be a good idea to come on here and kind of talk about my experience with recruitment and everything that I felt that was like helpful, because I watched these videos when I went through it, because I kind of came into it not really knowing what to expect. Literally, I had no idea. So these videos were everything to me. I had no idea that there was multiple parties. I didn't know that we had all these things we had to do. And yeah, so I just wanted to go ahead and kind of talk to you guys about how my experience went and how not everybody's experience can be the same. So, the first thing I want to talk about is move in. So, whenever you move in for recruitment, you actually are going to be moving in early. So, let's say school starts the 21st. I think that's when we started this year. So, we started August 21st. Just expect to move in about a week and a half, or week and a half before that. I know I personally remember I moved in on the 11th. I think recruitment started that Saturday and then went through to the next Saturday. So just be prepared to come to school early, get settled in, and yeah. The good thing about moving in though is you do get a couple days before everybody else gets here, so you have time to unpack, unwind, and it's just so much easier in my opinion. I had like a few days to like settle in, meet my roommate, like go do stuff around Fayetteville before everything got crazy. And also just moving in was so easy. I know you only get 30 minutes and that's scary, but there's a lot of like gammakais and people that are in Greek life that are helping you move in, and people like RAs in the dorm, so super easy. That was not even stressful. I mean, once I got into my room and had to unpack, I mean, that was a little stressful, but overall it was really easy. Okay, so after you moved in, you're settled in, one of the first things you do for recruitment is orientation. And orientation is basically where you go in and you get your shirts for all the rounds, and they kind of just talk to you about what to expect for the week. And it's like kind of long, like it's like 2 hours, and it's a lot of just sitting there because you're having to wait for like everybody to come inside. Because at least for me, I was in I was in the biggest recruitment class for the University of Arkansas. So we had like 2,000 girls that we had to wait to all come in. We had to hand out our papers, but yeah. So a lot of it is just sitting there, and then they go through. They introduce all the gamma guys, I'm pretty sure, and then after you they introduce them, you get split up into your gamma chi groups. And also, one thing about your gamma chi is they will call you. So they call you. I think my gamma chi called me before I went home. Not before I went home, before I came up here. So they call you, they say, "Hey, I'm your gamma chi. Nice to meet you." They're like, "Do you have any questions for me? Are you nervous? Are you excited? How are you feeling?" And then they send you a text and you get put in the group me, so you know your gamma chi number. Like, I remember my gamma chi number. I was gamma chi group 8, so anyways, after all that orientation stuff, you get split up into your gamma chi groups. You get to meet your gamma chi for the first time, which is super cool because you get to meet her before you go through recruitment. And if you don't know what a gamma chi is, it's basically just somebody that kind of helps you through the process. They are Greek affiliated, or they are in a Greek, like in a sorority, but they have disaffiliated from it to like be non-biased and just kind of help you through and be there, somebody that can be there for you. Because a lot of times you don't really have anybody, because you can't really talk to about it with anybody else. So yeah. So yeah, you meet with your gamma chi. She kind of just lets you know, "Hey guys, this is the plan for the week." She's like, "Okay, this is my goal. I want everybody to get to bid day." Perfect. Let's make sure everybody gets to bid day. Next day, yeah, literally the next day is open round. For us, it was all online, so we met online for the first 2 days. You have to get up at like, I think our meetings were at 6:30, so we were up at like, I think the first day I was up at 5:30 just because I was up at 5:30. I was like ready. I was excited for the first day of recruitment, and yeah, so you're up at 6:30, Then your parties, they get sent out for the day. I didn't have all of it. I had all but 2 parties my first day, and they were all back to back, so that was fun. The parties are 15 minutes, so they go very fast. Like, that can seem like a long time, but when you're in there and you're talking to people, you're talking to multiple girls at the same house, so it's quick, and you feel like you're in there for 5 minutes, and you're like, how am I supposed to cut people? Because these conversations weren't long enough. And at least for me, I kind of looked at the conversations as which ones did I feel made me the most happy, which ones did I feel were the most genuine, which conversations were different and not like every other conversation, because open party is a lot of getting to know somebody, so it's like, what's your major, where's your hometown, what dorm are you staying in? But those conversations that felt different to me and were more felt like friendship are the houses I ended up keeping around for longer, so that was pretty cool. I'll insert some videos and clips of me like talking to literally myself in the camera about how I felt. Just kind of, I wanted to know how I felt in the moment. Also, another good thing that I recommend everybody do is get a notebook, guys. You need a notebook to write down how you, personally, I think you need a notebook to write down how you felt after every house. At least for open round, kind of for me as the rounds went on, I stopped writing down as much because I had less houses to look over and remember. So like, as you can see, like, this is all my writing from like every house on the first day. Like, see, this is where it changes, but I wrote down how I felt in every single house, and that helped a lot. And then another thing I did at the end was I ranked. That was my rank. I'm not really going to show you guys that in detail, but yeah, I ranked the houses that I liked the best so that I knew who I was going to drop after the end of open party or conversation round. It can be called either one. So, open party's 2 days, so you go in 2 days, and then after the end of your second day, you rank your top 8 houses, and then, or you don't rank them, you just put your top 8 houses in whatever order. It's not specific. It doesn't matter what order you put your top 8 in, but the 3 houses that you're going to drop, those are the important ones. So you want to put the one you really just didn't like at the bottom, the one you're like, the middle one, and then like the one you're like, I'm just dropping them because I have to, or they were the ones like, if I get them back, okay, because just because you drop a house doesn't mean you're not going to get them back. So that's open party, and then you go into philanthropy round, and you get back, or you can get back up to 8 houses, or you could literally get back 1 house. For me, I got back 5 houses, and I was honestly, 5 houses, 1, 2, 3, 4, I got back 5 houses. This is my card from philanthropy round, and one big thing I want to just mention is don't be disappointed whenever you don't get back 8 houses, or you don't get back the maximum number of houses, because not everybody gets back all 8, and that is totally fine. Like, that should not be something you should be afraid of or embarrassed about. You know, at least for me, I was just so grateful. Like, I got back my top 3 houses. Whenever I got back, I was like, okay, you know, I didn't get these other houses back, but I got my top 3 back, and I should be so happy that I got those back, and I was. And, you know, I did get 2 houses back that I had wanted to drop, but it was okay. I was like, I have my top 3, I'm good, so just stay really positive. So, philanthropy's 2 days once again. I think I had like 3 houses one day and then 2 the next day. Can't really remember, to be honest. It's been a while, and it was a really stressful week. So, if you don't remember all the details, it's okay, because I don't remember a lot of my details. But that's why I have my notes, so I can look back at them. So, the next round is sisterhood. I remember being super stressed. Well, I was super stressed at the end of every round, but especially going into sisterhood, because I knew I only had 5 houses, so I didn't have anything to cut, and this is where I really started to get nervous, just because at this point I was kind of like, well, I may not get the houses back that I like what if they don't like me? I was just getting extremely nervous. So once again, you wake up at 6:30 for your meeting. Once after open conversation, we were in person, so we were walking to like our Gamma Chi meeting point. So mine was like in the Union, but yours might be somewhere else. So yeah, after like the meeting starts at 6:30, so you gotta be leaving by like 6:20 to get there, depending on or earlier, depending on where you're living. Yeah, so we go to our meetings, and I got back, or whenever I got back 3 houses for sisterhood, and so I got back my top house, the one that was my favorite, and then I got back my 2 houses that I had dropped. Like, very first round, I had dropped them, and I remember just being like really happy that obviously I got my top house back, but I was just still really upset that like my other 2 houses that were still my second and third, they had dropped me, because I felt that we had really good conversations, so I was a little sad about that, but that's okay. Also, sorry, I'm all over the place, y'all. Philanthropy is 30 minutes, and then sisterhood is 30 minutes, and then I believe sisterhood is 45 minutes, so a little bit longer. Every time the rounds get a teeny bit longer, which is helpful. So yeah, so sisterhood, like I said, only got 3 houses back, but I was still staying positive. I still have my number 1 house. I'll also insert clips of me talking about them. So yeah, I had got my number 1 house back. I was so excited. I was like, okay, I gotta put my all into this house. Like, I was like, okay, I really need to make sure that I let them know that I want to be in this house. I had already said something to them during philanthropy about me like feeling like I could see myself here, and just and being like, wow, I really like you guys. So that probably helped a little bit. But yeah, so that's one thing I actually do recommend, is saying, if you know you go into a house, I wouldn't recommend saying it in open, but if you are in philanthropy and you're like, oh my gosh, I see myself here, like, say something. Say something. And your Gamma Chis will be telling you this too, especially at sisterhood, to make sure that you say something to people, because when they hear, if an active member hears you say, I can see myself here, or I really like you guys, like, they will write that down, and they will bring it to whoever, and they're gonna notice that. They're gonna be like, oh, this girl wants to be here, like, she likes this place. Like, you know, if you're just sitting there and you're like, yeah, like, I like it, like, they're gonna notice that too. So make sure you seem like you're interested. You want to be saying, oh, I can really see myself here, oh, I really like you guys, oh, I really like your sisterhood, I like your philanthropy, whatever. You're trying to sell. Obviously, you want them to like you, you want to sell yourself, but you do want to be genuine. Don't sell yourself so much that you're not being yourself. But yes, that was a little bit of a ramble. But yeah, so Sisterhood's 45 minutes. It's a house tour, and then Sisterhood's really special because it's more like the active members are, they're kind of telling their story, and you know why they went 80 Pi, like their favorite, or sorry y'all, totally just said my sorority. But yeah, they're telling their story of why they joined their sorority, or why they like their sorority, like how they met their friends, and it's just like really cool way to learn how people, you know, found their sisterhood and found their home in whatever sorority you guys are, you know, looking at. So yeah, so then after Sisterhood's 2 days too, yeah, because you can get up to 5 houses back. Like I said, I only got back 3. And then there's Pref, which is the most fanciest. That's when you get to wear your nice dress. You get to dress up nice. Or, I mean, you can wear a pantsuit, whatever. You can wear whatever you want. You just want it to be fancy, and you want it to be appropriate. So Pref is an hour, and it's really special because you only have 2 houses at this point. So I know going to Pref, I told you guys I was nervous the whole time, but I was super nervous for Pref because I was like, if I don't get back my top house, I was going to be so upset. Because obviously I really liked them. At this point, they're the house that I really wanted. So, yeah. Pref's an hour, and it's a lot more serious. You can tell when you go into the houses that this is serious. This is when you are saying, yeah, I want to go here, and that's it. I knew. So, I talked to a group of, or a bump group my first round, or just like the group that you talked to about 3 people in each house. So the group I talked to the first in open party, I ended up talking to at Sisterhood and at Prep. So I knew going into Prep, whenever a girl picked me up at the door and I'd already talked to her, I was like, oh, this is a good thing. Because if you're getting picked up at the door at Prep, that means that somebody in the house that you already know, that means they probably like you. And they probably want you here too. Also, making it to Prep, guys, that is so cool. Wherever you guys make it for Prep, that's so cool that they wanted you back, because that should be really important to you. I made it back, or in my Prep, I talked to my top house, I talked to people I had already talked to, and then also in my second choice, I was talking to people that I had already talked to before. So, super cool that that happened. It makes you feel more comfortable when you talk to people that you already talked to, so that's really nice. I knew after Prep, I felt very confident in my decision and what I was going to do. I know sometimes it can be really hard for a lot of people, but at least for me, I was like, okay, I know. I had known pretty much the whole time. Seriously, since day 1, I pretty much knew what house was my top house. So there's that. So then, obviously, after Prep, you go that night. Because Prep's only one day. Because most girls, or not most girls, all girls only have 2 houses, or they might just have 1. So there's not that many parties, so that's why they can do it in one day. And you go to, or at least for my game, for at least our meeting, it was online for the last round, because I think they want it to be more private, but it may not be online. You guys might get all in person, which would be super great if you guys get that. And if not, online is honestly fine. So you meet with your Gamma Chi, and you tell them, or I can't remember if you tell them your top house, or how you rank your top house that you want really, really bad first, and then your second choice second, obviously. I mean, you can only pick 1, but most Gamma guys will tell you to pick 2, because if you don't get your top house, then they want you to have something. I mean, unless you really just don't want your second house at all, then you can suicide bid it, but I personally recommend doing 2, just to be safe. So yeah, I can't remember if you tell your Gamma Chi, or if it's on the website and you put it in and then she repeats it to you. I can't remember, but that doesn't matter. So then the next day is the day you've been waiting for, y'all. It's bid day. You're finally at bid day. This is going to be the best day of your life. You wake up, you're like, okay, good, I didn't get the phone call. That means I have the bid. So, by the way, guys, if you get no houses back for any of the rounds, you get a call from your Gamma Chi, and they say, hey, unfortunately, no houses chose you, you didn't get chosen, whatever. They'd let you know you didn't get any houses back. So, I remember I woke up that morning, once again, so nervous. I literally had to take melatonin because I couldn't sleep, because I was so anxious. So, I wake up, I was like, okay, I didn't get the call, I'm getting ready, I'm putting my shirt on, doing my hair. I'm like, okay, and I get to the room, then I meet my Gamma Chi group, and I'm like, okay, I made it, and then they hand you that envelope, that red envelope, y'all, and it's in your hand, and you're so excited. This is the best day ever. And then you walk into the Greek theater, all the P&Ms are in the middle, and then you have all the chapters of the sororities on the outside, and then you have parents and friends and whoever all in the grass, which, by the way, I recommend your mom, your grandma, if you want to invite your dad, I recommend them coming, because this is an experience you will never, it's just crazy, and you will never experience anything like this. And I think it's something that your mom or your grandma or whoever, they might want to see it too. My mom and my grandma came to see me, and I'm so glad they did. Not only did I miss them, because I hadn't seen them since I came to college, but it was also just cool to finally be able to, stress was relieved. I had my mom there. It was just great, really great. Recommend bringing your parents. Then countdown, guys. You open that card, and it's just, you see your number 1 house, you see the house you wanted, whatever. Maybe you don't, but you're still so excited, guys, because it's just the coolest thing ever. I have a video. It's not the best, but I will put it in so that you guys can see it. I'll put in a bunch of clips from bid day, because I just have videos and stuff I took for memories. pictures, whatever. But yeah, guys, it's literally the best day ever. You run up to the sorority because they're all standing in the Greek theater with you guys, and you meet your bid day buddy because they're holding up your sign with your name on it, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so excited, it's so cool. And then, yeah, I mean, it's just super cool, y'all. Then you go to the house, you get shirts and stickers and like just buttons and bid day baskets, and you just get to spend time with your bid day buddy, and it's so much fun because a lot of the time your bid day buddy is somebody that you have talked to in the house, so you already feel comfortable with them, you already feel like you know them. It's just super awesome. I knew my bid day buddy because I had talked to her during recruitment, and yeah, it's just seriously the best day ever. Like, as stressful as my week was, and I know it's gonna be stressful for you guys, getting to bid day and running home to your house, like the sorority that you got or your forever home, is just so rewarding. It seriously is, and I recommend that, like, every girl that's even thinking about it, considering it, just do it. You know, every house on this, every sorority in this university is a great sorority to belong to, and it doesn't matter where you end up, you're gonna love it, you're gonna find your friends, you're gonna be so happy there, so just do it, guys. So a couple other things just to talk about. So at the beginning of the week, when you go through orientation, you get a clear bag, looks literally just like this, super cute. They also get a name tag that you have to wear for, like, going into every house, every party, you have to wear this name tag. So here's mine, super cute, has my name, where I'm from, my Gamma Chi group, so cute, you gotta wear it, literally so cute, we love. So a couple things I recommend bringing with you to all your parties. Obviously, I already said a notebook, yeah, so important. Bring a notebook, you're gonna want it just to write down notes. You're going to forget. By the end of, after 2 days, you're not going to remember the conversation you had in that house, so bring it. Another thing I just recommend you having is a fan. This is mine. Mine broke, but I was very thankful to have it because you're hot, guys. You are drenched in sweat before you go into those houses. Another thing I definitely recommend is some sort of, like, oil blotting sheet. My mom got me coffee filters. These will get your sweat off like nobody's business. I also had a mask. Like, we had to wear a mask in the house, and this might be gross, y'all, but I had, like, it was just a disposable mask when you're, like, standing there drenched in sweat before you go into these houses. So I was, like, taking my mask and, like, rubbing my face, but use whatever you can because you don't want to be sweaty going into those houses. But, I mean, you probably will. Another thing I had in here was, this is just a potential new member manual. You'll get this too. Just kind of looks like this. I can't even remember. Oh, this just has, like, all the rules, everything you have to follow. It also has, like, all the like, every party time. So, like, every party is on here. See, like, P&M morning meeting. So this was, which one is this? Oh, this is, like, philanthropy. Here's all the parties. Super fun, super fresh. Just kind of tells you all the rules in case you forget, y'all. Don't forget the rules. And then it has a list of all the chapters that are at the University of Arkansas, and it also has, like, information about every chapter. So every chapter there's just a little bit of information, like famous alumni, all their symbols, philanthropies, when it was founded, just chapter awards, just, like, a bunch of interesting and fun facts that are actually really helpful to know, especially going into, like, philanthropy. Like, if I was going into a house, I looked up their I would go in this book and I looked up their philanthropy, and I'd be like, oh, okay, like, what is about their philanthropy that I like? So I knew going into the house I had something to talk about, which I'll get into some more tips in a minute. But yeah, so that manual was very helpful. I also had cough drops. I didn't open these because I had another pack, but you're talking a lot, y'all, your voice might get a little sore. Also, having some sort of tea was very helpful to me. And then you're allowed to carry this bag around. So this was mine. One thing I also recommend is putting some sort of like thing on your bag, string, ribbon, bow, whatever, just to know that it's yours. I had this twine. That's how I knew it was my bag. But yeah, so there was that. So a couple important tips that I felt like were helpful for me going through recruitment was, number one, just being yourself. Being yourself and being genuine is the most important thing, because you want these people to like you for who you are. You don't want them to like you for who you're pretending to be, because you can get in this house. You get into this house and they have no idea who you are, and then you're like, oh wait, I don't get along with, not that this would happen, but what if you get in and you're like, oh, I don't really get along with any of these girls, like, because you weren't being yourself and you weren't being genuine. Tip number 2 is to have questions for every round. So one thing I did was I did some research before I went in. So for every round I took notes. Or I didn't take notes, I put down like questions, like sorority conversation tips on my phone. So I had conversations for every round. So here's some things that I put down, because I love every single one of these tips and I used all of them. So keep the conversation easy. That's the first thing I said. If they say, what's your major? I would say, oh, my major is exercise science and blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't just say, oh, my major is exercise science. I would explain, my major is exercise science because of this, because I blah, 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 blah. Right? We don't want just yes or no questions, because girls on the other side, people, the active people you're talking to are just as nervous, because it's just as scary on the other side. Yes, so number 2, if they ask you a question, let's say, where are you from? They say, oh, I'm from Houston. You say, where are you from? You don't want the conversation to just be one-sided. You want to be having an open conversation with them, so make sure that you're saying, hi, my name's Kaylee, whatever. What's your name? Oh, I'm from Houston. Where are you from? Just keeping the conversation open, two-way conversation, people. Number 3, go into each house looking for positives. I think this is the biggest, if there's anything you take from this video, it should be this right here, going into each house with a positive attitude, looking for positives, because if you're looking for negatives, you're going to find them. If you're going in a house that you don't really like and you're just having a negative attitude, they're probably not going to invite you back, and you're not going to see the good about them. I did that for every house. Whenever I didn't get all 8 back and I only got 5, I was like, okay, I got 2 houses back that I didn't necessarily like, but I'm going to give them a second chance, because, what if I just miss something? You always go in with positives, because you never know. Number 4, ask questions and come prepared with questions each round. So, this is what I use. I always had at least 1 or 2 questions that I felt like I could ask them. So, for example, I said, for sisterhood, what's your favorite event? What's your favorite thing to do with your sisters? You want to get the recruiters, you want to get the girls on the other side to tell their story. I think I went into every thing with 3 questions. Open conversation is easy because it's a lot of okay, where are you from? I'm from Houston. Oh my gosh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Austin. No way. We're both from Texas? That's so cool. Easy, back and forth. What's your major? My major is exercise science. What's your major? So, open conversation is really easy. It's just, if they ask you a question, just kind of ask them the question back. And sometimes the conversation will go off and you'll end up talking about something random. Philanthropy. You could ask them, what's your favorite thing to do for your philanthropy? What's your favorite, or where was your philanthropy founded? I don't know, just random question. For philanthropy, it's easy because you watch a video. So you can ask them questions about the video you watch. If there's a video, you can ask them, like I said, ask them questions. Be like, oh, are you in the video? easy questions. With sisterhood, you can ask them, oh, like, do you live in the house? Because you go on a house tour. You know, just easy stuff. Also, another thing I have on this is, I saw you guys have a volleyball event. Did you go to that? And what did you do at the event? Like, for my sorority, we have lip sync battle. If I had known about it going in, I'd be like, oh, like, I see that you guys do lip sync battle. Like, did you go to that? Like, what's your favorite thing about that? It should be easy. Just even looking questions up, super easy. Your Gamkai will also give you some questions to ask. So yeah, and most of the time as the parties and the days go on, it'll get easier because a lot of times you're talking to the same people. So yeah. Number 6, everyone likes compliments. This is a big thing. Big thing. Be like, I love your house. I love your philanthropy. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to like live in house. Wow, I really like that your philanthropy is hands-on. I really can connect to your philanthropy. But we want to do this not in a butt kisser way. You don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I love your fan. I don't know. You don't want to be a butt kisser, but you do want to be nice, and you do want to say, oh, I love this. Oh, I can see myself here. Just kind of things like that. You want to make the girl on the other side or the active member feeling like they could see themselves being friends with you. Like me being an active member going through recruitment next year, if I talk to a girl, I want to see her like as somebody I could see as my friend. So yeah, there's that. Tip number 7 is relax and act like they're already your friend. Guys, you want to act like they're just already your friend. You're not like, yes, you are trying to impress them. Obviously, you want them to like you, but I would more so go into it as, oh, I want this girl to be my friend, so I'm going to obviously be appropriate with the things we're not supposed to talk about. If you don't know what those are, they're the 3 B's. You don't talk about boys, you don't talk about the Bible, boys, and money, bucks. So don't talk about money, don't talk about boys, don't talk about the Bible. And like, if they ask you like, oh, what do you do to volunteer, you can say, oh, I volunteer at my church, but like, very plain Jane, stuff like that. You want to make, like I said, words. You just want to go in and try to be their friend, super nice. You want to have a good conversation. You want to be in the sorority because you want to be friends with these girls. Number 8, you don't necessarily have to follow this rule, but this is something that I did, and it was don't wear plain black or white on pref day. I think the biggest reason I put this down is because you want to stand out. You want to stand out, you want to be seen by these girls, and you want them to remember you because the next day after this is a bid day, right? You want to go in and you want these active members to be like, this girl needs to be in this sorority, right? So you kind of want to stand out. Yeah, so just wear a fun color. I mean, if you guys do wear black and white, don't worry about it. I think the main reason I wrote this down is because I saw somewhere like some houses don't like what you wearing black and white, mainly because the active members are going to be wearing black or white, so just wear a different color. I don't know. And you guys are going to want to wear heels for pref. Look, this hill that you have to walk up and down, I get it. You can put on slides to walk around, but when you go into the house, I just recommend wearing heels. So yeah, so those are all the tips, and then a couple other things just like after bid day is there's a lot of activities you have to go through, you do as a new member, like you have new member meetings and just stuff to learn about the sorority. So you guys will have so many opportunities to meet new people in your sorority. It's not just like, oh, bid day, chapter. It's like as new members, you have lots of opportunities to meet new people. One of the things that they do a lot in the beginning of the year is pep rallies, and it's where all the freshmen and some sophomores of the sororities will go to the Greek theater, usually the Friday before a football game, and it's like they play music. Sororities will do their chants. The cheerleaders and the band will come out, and they'll do you'll learn the chants and stuff for the football games. It's super cool, yeah. But you guys, there's gonna be so many opportunities to meet new people in your sorority after midday, so don't worry about oh, I didn't meet that many people in my PC during bid day. How am I gonna meet new friends? So many opportunities, and you also get put in a group me, then people be like, oh, where's everybody live? And people make Snapchat group chats with people that live in your dorm that are in the same sorority as you, and it's just, there is seriously no reason to worry about it. You're going to be so good. But yeah, I hope my video was helpful. I know it was really long, but I just wanted to make sure I kind of put in everything that I felt like people needed, because I know that whenever I went through it, it was really helpful to watch other people's experiences. And this isn't necessarily me going through it in the moment, but I think I have a little bit more insight now just from letting my brain like distress for like a couple more, like 5 months to think about it. But yeah, I hope this is helpful, and I hope that you guys take my tips and also watch other videos, because this is just my personal experience and my tips that I think were helpful. But there's so many videos out there that you guys can watch. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great recruitment process and a good week. So yeah, thank you.